Corey Haim's tragic story is one that has captivated and horrified many, particularly when he first disclosed the horrific abuse he endured as a child star. Initially, there was widespread speculation that Haim was referring to Charlie Sheen, especially after disturbing accusations surfaced. However, after Haim's untimely death in 2010, further revelations painted an even darker picture of his life and the abuse he suffered. Corey Haim could be seen as the epitome of a child actor whose bright early career was derailed by the challenges of adulthood. His life became increasingly dominated by addiction, which ultimately led to his downfall. Yet, beyond the struggles with substance abuse, there are sinister accusations that provide a deeper, more unsettling context for Haim's tragic fall. These accusations suggest that the abuse Haim suffered as a young actor in Hollywood played a significant role in his lifelong battles and premature death, leaving a legacy shadowed by pain and unresolved questions. From a young age, Corey Haim's mother, Judy, noticed something troubling about her son. He lacked confidence and appeared painfully introverted, qualities that worried her as he entered his teenage years. Recognizing his shyness, Judy believed that placing him in the spotlight might help him overcome these insecurities. With this in mind, she signed Corey up for improv classes and even mime lessons, hoping that the exposure and practice in performing would draw him out of his shell. The stage, she thought, could be a remedy for his introversion, allowing him to develop the confidence she knew he needed. Accompanying his sister to auditions led Haim on an unexpected path to stardom. A casting agent spotted him at a young age, leading to his start as a child actor in commercials in 1981, showcasing his natural talent. He later took on the role of Larry in the Edison Twins, which set the stage for his big-screen debut in the thriller Firstborn in 1984, where he faced a challenging experience with co-star Peter Weller's intense method acting. Despite the rocky start, Haim found support and comfort from co-stars Sarah Jessica Parker and Robert Downey Jr. during filming, which left a lasting impression on the young actor. His career continued to flourish with supporting roles in films like Secret Admirer and Murphy's Romance alongside Sally Field, but it was his lead role in Silver Bullet that truly launched him into the spotlight. Winning his first Young Artist Award for A Time to Live in 1986, Haim's talent was undeniable, attracting the attention of industry insiders who saw his potential for greater success. Although his father initially managed his career and turned down roles like the one in The Mosquito Coast, Haim's star was on the rise, with producer Stanley Jaffe even suggesting he get an agent in Los Angeles. Haim's journey from a sibling chauffeur to a promising Hollywood talent was filled with highs and lows, from touching moments with co-stars to intense on-set experiences. His performances earned critical acclaim, showcasing his emotional depth and skill as an actor. Despite early setbacks, Haim's resilience and dedication to his craft propelled him towards a bright future in the entertainment industry. Through a combination of talent, determination, and the support of those around him, Haim paved his own path to success, leaving a lasting legacy in the world of entertainment. Corey Haim rose to fame in 1986 with his role in the coming-of-age film Lucas, where he played an intelligent misfit named Lucas who falls for a cheerleader. His performance earned him critical acclaim and a Young Artist Award nomination. Haim's ease with his heartthrob status caught the attention of director David Seltzer. Despite being offered the iconic role of Gordy in Stand By Me, Haim chose to star in Lucas and excelled in the part. Following his success in Lucas, Haim moved to Los Angeles and starred in the TV series Roomies before landing another iconic role in Joel Schumacher's The Lost Boys in 1987. Initially doubted for the part, Haim won over the director with his talent. The film became a cult classic, earning over $32 million at the box office and another Young Artist Award nomination for Haim. Haim's on-screen partnership with Corey Feldman led to them being dubbed the Two Coreys and becoming the highest-paid teen stars of the 1980s. Their collaboration continued in License to Drive, 1988, where Haim played a teenager desperate to impress a girl by getting his driver's license. The film was a hit, grossing over $22 million and earning Haim his second Young Artist Award. Despite his rising fame and fan mail, Haim faced challenges with obsessive fans circling his block. Nevertheless, he continued to deliver on screen, infusing his characters with personal flair and ad-libbing. Haim's signature lopsided smile became his trademark, although co-star Cloris Leachman once advised him to tone it down. Haim's collaboration with Corey Feldman and his ability to connect with audiences through his roles solidified his status as a significant actor in Hollywood. Haim continued his success with the horror film Watchers, based on Dean R. Koontz's novel, where he played a teen who befriends a genetically modified, highly intelligent dog. Together, they find themselves on the run from shadowy military forces. Haim and Feldman reunited once more for the metaphysical romantic comedy Dream, a Little Dream. Just 4 days before filming began in January 1988, Haim broke his leg. Ever the professional, the film's creators incorporated his injury into the character's storyline. Even after his cast was removed, Haim had to wear a fake one for continuity. His ability to improvise and adapt was on full display, further cementing his place as a teen star of the 1980s. Corey Haim's life took a drastic turn in 1989 during the filming of License to Drive, marking his breaking point where his battle with addiction began. That same year, he participated in a teen anti-drugs campaign at Knott's Berry Farm, which turned chaotic as enthusiastic fans overwhelmed him, leading to his hasty exit by fire marshals. This traumatic experience left him petrified of performing on stage again. In November 1989, after leaving rehab, Haim tried to take control of his life by releasing a self-promotional video, Corey Haim, Me, Myself, and I. Unfortunately, the video, intended to showcase a day in his life, was heavily scripted and poorly received due to Haim appearing under the influence. Critics labeled it as the worst movie ever, highlighting the grip addiction had on him. During this time, he also set up a drug advice line for teens, but later admitted on the Arsenio Hall show that he was under the influence while recording the advice, emphasizing the tragic irony of his situation. In 1990, Haim starred alongside Patricia Arquette in the sci-fi action film Prayer of the Roller Boys, where he did his own stunts. The movie followed a teenager trying to expose a racist gang leader undercover. However, Haim's drug problems started impacting his popularity with fans, and his career suffered. Throughout the 1990s, he mainly appeared in direct-to-video releases, a far cry from his earlier success. At 19, he starred in Dream Machine, also released directly to video, along with Oh, What a Night and the Double O Kid featuring Seth Green. Green noted Haim's duality as a dedicated actor and a troubled soul battling addiction. Haim's involvement in the 1992 film Blown Away continued his trend of direct-to-video films, with co-star Nicole Eggert recounting the toll his addiction took on his health and their relationship, including frequent trips to the emergency room for different prescriptions. Haim faced challenges in both his personal and professional life, getting involved in a scandal tied to a lease option on a 1922 mansion in Los Angeles with his business manager, Michael Bass, in December 1992. The scheme, aimed at hosting a fundraiser for Russian children, turned out to be fraudulent. In an attempt to kickstart his career, Haim dabbled in music, signing a deal with a German record label in 1994. However, contractual issues led to the shelving of his album project. Despite setbacks, he released a single in 1995, hinting at his musical potential. Haim also appeared in sequels to his earlier films and took on various acting roles, including unsuccessful auditions for major movie parts like Robin in Batman Forever. In the mid-1990s, Corey Haim's manager, Brooke McCarter, ended their partnership due to the actor's drug problems. Despite this, Haim continued to star in direct-to-video films like Snowboard Academy, Demolition High, Fever Lake, and Busted, directed by and co-starring Corey Feldman. However, Haim's addiction worsened, leading Feldman to fire him during the filming of Busted. Haim also appeared in Merlin, The Quest Begins, and Demolition University in 1997. Haim faced financial troubles in 1996 after dropping out of Paradise Bar, which resulted in legal issues with Lloyd's of London. He filed for bankruptcy in July 1997, revealing $200,000 in debt and limited assets. Despite these challenges, Haim attempted a comeback with the film Universal Groove in 1999, shot in Montreal using new digital technology. Though the film garnered attention, it encountered post-production problems, including leaked footage. It took over 8 years for a reconstructed version of Universal Groove to be released. Overall, Haim's career experienced a significant decline, but he persevered in trying to revive his acting career through various projects. In 2000, Haim sought to pivot his career with the direct-to-video thriller Without Malice, starring alongside Jennifer Beals and Craig Sheffer. The film, set in Waskiesiu, Saskatchewan, had Haim playing an ex-addict embroiled in a murder cover-up. Haim hoped this darker, more mature role would help transition him away from the teen idol image that had defined much of his early career. However, old habits die hard, and Haim was often seen propping up the town's only bar into the early hours, a reflection of his ongoing struggles. By 2001, Haim's life had become a cautionary tale, as chronicled in an episode of E! True Hollywood Story that aired on October 17th. The program painted a grim picture of Haim's existence, showing him living in a sparse apartment above a garage in Santa Monica with his mother. His struggles with addiction were painfully apparent. During interviews, Haim appeared disoriented and often unintelligible. Viewers saw him compiling a promotional reel to attract casting agents, while a local pawnbroker recalled Haim desperately begging for $3 just to buy a slice of pizza. In an attempt to help his friend, Corey Feldman moved Haim into his house in October 2001, and the two even spent 4 days at Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch, a brief respite from the chaos of Haim's life. Despite the turbulence, Haim was able to laugh at himself, making a cameo in David Spade's film Dickie Roberts, former child star in 2003. The movie, a satire about a washed-up former child star, featured a host of real-life former child actors, including Haim and Feldman. That same year, Haim also appeared in the spoof horror film The Backlot Murders and guest starred as himself on the Canadian TV series Big Wolf on Campus. In 2004, Haim's tumultuous life even inspired a song by the Irish band The Thrills, aptly titled Whatever Happened to Corey Haim? The song captured the lingering public fascination with his rise and fall, cementing his place as a symbol of the tragic child star narrative. In 2006, Corey Haim was ranked number 8 on VH1's list of the greatest teen stars, reflecting his enduring legacy as a teen icon. Later that year, Haim began taping a reality show titled The Two Coreys, which reunited him with his longtime friend and co-star Corey Feldman. The show, which premiered on A&E Network on July 29, 2007, was an attempt to revive Haim's career and documented his efforts to rebuild his life while living with Feldman and Feldman's wife. Haim and Feldman were both credited as executive producers, allowing them some creative input into the show's direction. The dynamics on the show were inspired by the film You, Me, and Dupree, but as the series progressed, it became clear that the reality of Haim's life was much darker than the lighthearted premise suggested. The show exposed the toll that Haim's years of substance abuse had taken on him, with his appearance markedly different from his earlier teen idol days. Despite being partially scripted, the show took a darker turn as Haim's relapse and prescription drug abuse became increasingly evident. One particularly harrowing moment in the series was when Haim confided in Feldman that he had been sexually abused at age 14 by one of Feldman's acquaintances. This revelation deepened the rift between the two friends and cast a shadow over their relationship on the show. The tension between Haim and Feldman led to a 6-month hiatus before the second season of The Two Coreys. Despite the show's troubles, Haim was nominated for a Viewer's Choice Award at the 22nd Annual Gemini Awards in Canada for his role in the series. However, A&E ultimately canceled The Two Coreys midway through its second season in July 2008, reflecting the growing difficulties between the former friends and Haim's ongoing struggles. In an attempt to revive his career, Haim made various efforts in the early 2000s, including selling clumps of his hair and an extracted molar on eBay, although the auction was shut down due to eBay's restrictions on selling body parts. In February 2008, Haim took out a full-page ad in Variety stating, "This is not a stunt. I'm back. I'm ready to work. I'm ready to make amends," in a bid to announce his return to Hollywood. In February 2008, Haim began filming Lost Boys, The Tribe in Vancouver, a direct-to-DVD sequel to the original Lost Boys movie. Despite the excitement surrounding the project, Haim was devastated when he was told on camera that there was no significant role for him in the film, reducing his involvement to a mere cameo. His emotional response to this news highlighted his deep connection to the original movie and his desire to be part of its continuation. When he later arrived on set to film the cameo, it became clear that Haim was struggling, as he was visibly under the influence and unable to remember his lines. This incident reflected the ongoing challenges Haim faced with substance abuse, which had plagued his career for years. Around the same time, The Two Coreys, the reality show that reunited Haim with his longtime friend and co-star Corey Feldman, was canceled by A&E midway through its second season in July 2008. The show's abrupt end coincided with the deterioration of Haim and Feldman's friendship, further exacerbating the difficulties Haim faced during this period. Despite the turmoil, there were rumors that Warner Brothers was considering a third Lost Boys movie, which would feature the characters played by Haim and Feldman facing off against each other. However, only Feldman was confirmed to star in and act as an executive producer for the next sequel, titled Lost Boys: The Thirst. In February 2008, Haim began filming Lost Boys: The Tribe in Vancouver, a direct-to-DVD sequel to the original Lost Boys movie. Despite the excitement surrounding the project, Haim was devastated when he was told on camera that there was no significant role for him in the film, reducing his involvement to a mere cameo. His emotional response to this news highlighted his deep connection to the original movie and his desire to be part of its continuation. 2008, Haim completed filming Shark City, a gambling comedy set in Toronto, where he worked alongside Vivica A. Fox, Carlo Rota, and David Phillips. This project offered Haim a chance to showcase his talents once more, but his ongoing struggles with addiction continued to overshadow his professional efforts. Seeking to turn his life around, Haim collaborated with musician G. Tom Mack to develop a reality show called Lost Boy Found. The show was intended to document Haim's battle with addiction and his recovery journey through music at Mack's studio, where Haim was given a place to stay. Mack even pledged that if Haim stayed clean, he would take him on tour and allow him to perform alongside him. Unfortunately, despite filming a pilot, the show was never picked up by a network, leaving Haim's comeback attempt unrealized. In 2009, Haim appeared in Crank: High Voltage, sporting a blonde mullet alongside Jason Statham, Amy Smart, and Dwight Yoakam. He also completed 2 films scheduled for a 2010 release: American Sunset, a thriller in which he played a man searching for his abducted wife, and Decisions, where he portrayed a cop working with troubled kids. American Sunset wrapped filming in New Brunswick, Canada, on June 18, 2009, marking one of Haim's final completed projects. In his last days, Haim was involved in the production of The Dead Sea, a film about mercenaries trapped by zombies on a naval ship. Aware of his struggles, Haim requested a clean set from the producers to avoid temptation. Despite these efforts, those on set observed that Haim remained hyperactive and needy, often visiting the set on his days off, indicating his ongoing battle with addiction and the desperate need for attention and stability. Haim's final years were marked by continued attempts to revive his career amidst the personal challenges that had defined much of his life. Despite these efforts, his battle with addiction ultimately overshadowed his work, leading to an untimely end to a career that had once held so much promise. After the release of The Lost Boys, Haim reveled in the perks of his newfound fame. He became a regular at Alfie's Soda Pop Club, an exclusive nightclub at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel where underage actors mingled away from the prying eyes of the public. The private setting offered young stars like Haim a place to enjoy their fame among peers, solidifying his status as a teen idol. However, the pressures of fame and the temptations that came with it began to take their toll on Haim. In February 1993, tensions between Haim and his business manager, Michael Bass, boiled over when Haim attempted to fire base. The situation escalated to the point where Haim, frustrated and angry, was reportedly shooting BB guns at a target in his backyard. Base refused to accept his termination, and in the heat of the moment, Haim allegedly threatened him. The incident led to Haim's arrest, with the initial charge being investigated as a terrorist threat, a serious felony. Thankfully, the charge was later downgraded to a misdemeanor, with Feldman stepping in to post Haim's $250 bail. By late July 2008, Haim's life had spiraled downward. Once a beloved teen star, he found himself destitute and homeless in Los Angeles. In a twist of fate, Gerard McMahon, the singer-songwriter behind the iconic Lost Boys soundtrack hit Cry Little Sister, offered Haim a lifeline. McMahon took Haim in, providing him with a place to stay and a glimmer of hope. The two collaborated on a reality show concept called Lost Boy Found, which aimed to document Haim's battle with addiction and his journey toward recovery through music. Despite the promise of this project, the reality show was never picked up, leaving Haim's comeback attempts thwarted once again. Throughout this turbulent period, Haim's relationship with Feldman became increasingly strained. The tension between them was often fueled by Haim's drug use, which was painfully evident during the filming of their reality series, The Two Coreys. Despite the public nature of their disagreements, the two managed to reconcile off-camera before Haim's death. They even began working on a new project, a sequel to their hit film License to Drive, humorously titled License to Fly. This project, conceived by Haim, was a testament to his enduring creativity and the bond he shared with Feldman, despite the many ups and downs they had faced over the years. Unfortunately, Haim's untimely death meant that License to Fly would never come to fruition, leaving fans to wonder what might have been if the two Coreys had been able to recapture their former magic one last time. In an episode of The Two Coreys, Corey Haim disclosed to Corey Feldman that he had been sexually abused at the age of 14 by a 42-year-old man who was an acquaintance of Feldman's. Haim did not name his abuser but claimed the abuse had continued for 2 years, and Feldman was aware of it. This revelation strained Haim's relationship with Feldman and added a darker dimension to the already troubled reality series, which exposed the less glamorous side of their lives as former teen stars. Following Haim's death in 2010, Feldman continued to speak out about the abuse Haim endured. In 2011, Feldman suggested that a Hollywood mogul was responsible for Haim's death. His 2013 memoir, Choreography, detailed the abuse he and Haim suffered, including an incident on the set of Lucas where Haim was coerced into a painful sexual act by an industry figure who falsely assured him that such behavior was normal in Hollywood. Feldman also mentioned that Haim later suggested engaging in sex with him, an offer Feldman declined. Judy Haim, Corey Haim's mother, responded strongly to these claims. In 2016, she threatened legal action against Feldman, accusing him of fabricating stories to gain attention and money. By 2017, she publicly condemned Feldman's efforts to make a documentary exposing abuse, labeling him a scam artist. The controversy escalated when actor Dominic Brascia alleged in 2017 that Charlie Sheen had raped Haim on the set of Lucas. Sheen, who was 19 at the time, denied the allegations and filed a lawsuit against the National Enquirer, which was settled in 2018. Judy Haim also denied that Sheen was involved, instead accusing Brascia, who passed away in 2018, of being the abuser. In March 2020, Feldman released My Truth, The Rape of Two Coreys, a documentary in which he repeated his allegations against Sheen, claiming that Haim had described the assault in graphic detail. The documentary included support from Jamison Newlander, Haim's co-star from The Lost Boys, and Feldman's ex-wife, Susie Sprague. Feldman also accused Brascia of abusing Haim. Despite these claims, Sheen's publicist continued to deny the allegations, maintaining his innocence. On March 10, 2010, actor Corey Haim, aged 38, passed away after being taken to the hospital with flu-like symptoms. His mother called 911 and a leaked call revealed he felt weak before collapsing. Initially, His death was suspected to be an accidental overdose as various prescription drugs were found in his possession. It was later discovered that Haim had obtained over 500 pills using different aliases and doctors in the month leading to his death. Despite claims of being drug-free, Haim's primary doctor confirmed he was addicted to pain medication. The investigation into his death led to the arrest of individuals involved in illegal prescription activities, including doctor identity theft. An autopsy report released on May 4, 2010, stated that Haim's death was due to pneumonia, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, and coronary arteriosclerosis, ruling it as a natural death with no significant drug involvement. Before the report's release, Haim's mother was informed of the initial findings by the coroner. The death certificate stated the primary cause of death as diffuse alveolar damage and pneumonia. Additional conditions contributing to his death were listed as hypertrophic cardiomyopathy and coronary arteriosclerosis. Following Haim's death, around 20 doctors were subpoenaed as he had misled them about seeing multiple physicians. The California Attorney General referred to Haim as a symbol of prescription drug addiction due to his actions. Despite initial speculation of an overdose, the autopsy report revealed a different cause of death, highlighting the dangers of prescription drug abuse. The circumstances surrounding Haim's death shed light on the issue of obtaining medications through illicit means and the importance of monitoring prescription drug use.